Greetings everyone, I am here to make a final, one and only final addendum to my King and Armor King wishlist video that I made for Season 4. Again, I stress this is not stuff I expect to actually get implemented in Season 4, sadly. Maybe in Tekken 8, because some of these changes require kind of like a big overhaul of the system. Not huge, not big, but it's something that they usually kind of like do in like from Tekken to Tekken and not actually they patch it in. Well, actually, Tekken 7 is the first game where we actually have patches, but whatever, I digress. The first addendum that I want to make about King is inspired by Arson Ash's commentary on his own tier list when he appeared yesterday on King J's YouTube channel, and I believe also his Twitch. He was explaining why he put certain characters where he did, and when he commented on King, not only, like, forget what I said about, again, I excuse myself because this pad is very new and it's very awkward to do Giant Swing on. Forget Giant Swing versus Shining Wizard. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. He actually said that he can nullify the crouch dash multis because he crouches down, and when the King tries to do while standing 1+2, he said it was reactable. Which got me to reevaluate my stance on, or actually I did touch upon this a little bit, but I think we should really actually buff CD4. Because currently the damage on it raw is 21. Characters that are big like Armor King here, you don't get anything. The best you could do is crouch dash into another mix-up. So, in terms of raw damage, while standing 4 is 20 damage and is 4 frames quicker. On top of that, it is better on block because it's -6, whereas this is -9. All of this, of course, is because this is a counter hit launcher, sorry. But I believe we should get a little bit more than that. I believe you should, no matter what character size, you should get a mini juggle with 2 stagger kicks into the mid. Because currently it's completely outshined. Forget while standing 4, you get this, which is hit confirmable-ish if you're a god, but I don't know how people do that, because at max delay or something close to that, it's not going to be a natural combo. Maybe a counter hit combo, yes, but not a natural. This hits on the ground. It's also a counter hit launcher for even more damage, because like your combo off of this is going to be much bigger than CD4. So I believe CD4 should get a little bit more attention. It shouldn't track, it should stay at -9. Maybe even lose its counter hit launch, but give more of a reward on normal hit. To kind of like address the issue that, according to Arson Ash, King has, even with his crouch dash multis, which in this current version of the game, if the suggestions that I suggested earlier are not implemented, this is his only saving grace at a high level. If even that can be nullified, then King is nothing, sadly. Armor King, there's a move I actually forgot to talk about, which is this. This is too slow at 24 frames. It is +1 on block and it is a normal hit launcher, which is very good, but it's done from full crouch and it's 24 frames. It's ridiculous. This can't even punish stuff that Armor King struggles with, which are like pushback lows. He has to do kind of like a crouch cancel shoulder for that or something similar, or he has to like delay and time his while standing 1, which also has a messed up hitbox. So I believe this should be like at 20 frames or something to at least punish stuff like Garyu's full crouch down forward 1+2, some of Law's Dragon Tail stuff. This could actually be used like as a punisher. It doesn't even, I believe, like give you the best combo damage ever in the world. It's not that fantastic, so I believe it should be like made a little bit quicker just to be able to punish super like pushback lows or something like that. Another thing that I discovered was when I did talk about how this 4-4-2 is kind of like useless on King, even though Majin himself, the man, disagrees, I actually noticed something. If Armor King got this, this would solve a lot of problems for the character. Like, this move is on the wrong character. King doesn't need it, and it actually clogs up his move list. And King, like, even Majin himself said, I don't use this move. But if Armor King got it, this would be a godsend for him. So I believe this move should just simply transport from King to Armor King, which solve a lot of problems for him. And finally, I believe Armor King should get a unique wall grab animation. Maybe something along the lines of this. Imagine if you like wall splat your opponent and you could actually connect the stunner off of it. It actually would look good. I can imagine it actually connecting. Because it gives good Oki, you know, this is guaranteed if they do anything but stay perfectly still. And all that jazz. And now I'm going to discuss like the real meat and potatoes and the stuff that I actually regret forgetting to mention in my previous videos. Which has to address, like, first of all, crouch grabs, or from full crouch grabs, and grabs in general. If you saw my previous videos, my theme was grapplers should be feared for their throws and not 13-frame mid-counter hits. They should be feared for what their design is set out to do. So, first of all, full crouch, they're useless. These throws are just there for style points. You have no reason to do them because, okay, it's 12 frames and it's 1+2 break. Why not do this? Of course, this sucks, but if you had a good, you know, like generic generic 1+2 throw that you can access from crouch like this one, this would become obsolete. So, again, my pad, I'm sorry. This could actually be perfectly purposed for a third option out of Jaguar Step, maybe Jaguar Step 1+2, because again, I could almost imagine it being a very good animation, because the way he kind of like stands up and he's hugging his opponent with his elbow, I could perfectly see or imagine being done from a Jaguar Step. So I believe this should be repurposed for that, and Armor Kings maybe should be repurposed as a third throw out of his crouch dash instead of a crouch dash muscle buster. Again, I'm not saying this as someone who can do a crouch dash muscle buster. I mean, I could do it even better on my Tekken pad, but I believe like adding a manual, because it's sad for this animation to go to waste, and I think you could easily like do like a crouch dash 3+4 or a crouch dash 1+2 while like making a different input for this one. I actually think this would be a good addition for that. And the main reason is I think like crouch grabs currently don't have a place. Their rationale for existing is that they're sort of kind of almost 12-frame mids. Almost. So for King, they're kind of like maybe serve a purpose, but on Armor King they're completely useless because he does have a 12-frame mid. I mean, yes, it's nowhere near as rewarding, but why would you ever do that? Because these are death on whiff. If your opponent is not crouching, you are certain to eat something nasty at high level for whiffing this. Nobody goes for crouch grabs. What I actually, I did talk about this previously, but both Kings have a lot of situations where their opponent is forced into crouch at -2. This Capital Punishment is one, this is one, Armor King's Forward 4 is one. It's always -2, it's always in crouch. The problem why that mix-up is not in the King's favor, either King or Armor King. Armor King's a little bit better because it has access to a 12-frame mid, but a dick jab from your opponent nullifies a lot of your move list, a lot. You either have to low parry it, step it, or risk with a hop kick. The reason being, if your opponent does a dick jab and you do a crouch throw, you know, in Tekken 7 system, when moves trade, you trade counter hits as well. So if your jab traded with a Magic 4, your opponent gets a Magic 4 combo, while you just get a counter hit jab. But throws are exempt from this, because when a move trades with a throw, the throw is nullified and the move wins, or the attack wins. I would suggest that grapplers should have that changed. So if you are a grappler, your throws win a trade. That would actually be huge, because again, a lot of the time, this would add a great utility to these crouch throws, especially if, like I said, this was changed, sorry, this was changed into, what's wrong with this pad? Come on. Yes, if this was changed to a 1+2 break, you'd have a complete ambiguous 1+2 mix-up against a crouching opponent. So if only your crouch grabs, maybe not apply this to everything, maybe not even a giant's, maybe not like a giant swing should win a trade against a jab, even though I think that would be awesome because, again, I want grapplers to be feared for their throws, but especially crouch grabs, because you're almost always putting your opponent into these situations where he's specifically -2. And dick jabbing is a fantastic option for them, because if you're going to go for a low parry, you just completely wasted your turn. If you're going to sidestep, again, you wasted your turn. The only meaningful way you can take your turn back and beat a dick jab is by hop kicking, which is punishable. So why not do this? Which is still, like, again, just as punishable, but maybe they won't be that ready if they were in crouch and at negative frames. I don't know. But overall, the proposition that grapplers should win trades, I don't think is a particularly bad idea. And this, again, if applied to both kings, and you kind of like juggle if there are other throws around so that they have like a coherent package, maybe that would be an actually good idea to have. So I think this is all I have to say on this subject. Maybe someday, one day, Tekken 9, Tekken 10, some of these changes will be implemented, I don't know. For those of you who are here mainly for the anti-character guys, I'm sorry I've been away. I know I had a lot of stuff going on. Once Season 4 drops, in order for me to not make obsolete guides out of the gate, I'm going to take a look at Lars, then Feng or Jin. Like, I'm going to do Jin and Feng next, but I don't know in which order. So, Lars, Feng, and Jin coming up, and then I'm going to continue looking at the rest of the cast. So, with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. Take care and goodbye.